Hi there. Later, a major leak of private photos from queer dating apps. First though, events are taking place around the world to mark Transgender Day of Visibility. It celebrates the lives and achievements of trans people, whilst raising awareness of the discrimination and abuse taking place, particularly a thing where America's concerned, what with the governing Republican Party's anti-transgender obsession. In New York State, where trans man Sam Nordquist was tortured and killed earlier this year, transgender pride ribbons have been tied to lampposts.
Unfortunately, transgender people are mistreated and harmed at an alarming rate, which is why we want to make sure that in addition to recognizing the areas of concern and the areas of invalidation, we also celebrate them because they are wonderful just as they are and they belong here.
Annalise Johnson-Smith from Pittsford in New York State talking to 13 Wham News. Elsewhere, events planned in Australia include a picnic, a barbecue, standard, and a dance party. Trinidad and Tobago's banned homosexuality again. The law was overturned in 2018 after their High Court ruled it violated the right to privacy and freedom of expression, but now an appeal seen the ban reinstated, a maximum of 5 years prison for being gay, down from 25 years previously. And claims 1.5 million private photos shared on LGBTQ+ and fetish dating apps have been leaked, many featuring leaks, ironically. Cybernews reckons certain sensitive info wasn't properly locked down on apps including Brish, Translove and BDSM People. It means users who aren't out about their sexuality or their kink could potentially be identified. No time to tell you that. LGBTQ+ choirs worldwide have performed in solidarity with the Gay Men's Chorus of Washington, D.C. It's after an upcoming gig was cancelled because right-wing bigotry. And gay Russian tennis player Daria Kasatkina will now represent Australia, where she's been granted permanent residency. Hi there. Later, a not gender-neutral cartoon raccoon. First though, nearly 2 years after the unexplained death of an American drag artist, a protest in London over the police investigation. The body of Heclina was found in her apartment in Soho by a friend Joshua Grinnell. Friends and supporters of the 55-year-old claim the lack of any real progress in the Metropolitan Police inquiry is down to homophobia. Joshua was at the demo outside the force's headquarters. He tells Cron 4 News, film of 3 men leaving Heclina's home on the night she was discovered has only just been released.
They've been sitting on that footage of those 3 guys for 2 years. We still don't have satisfactory answers at all. There's a really negative relationship between the police and the queer community due to mistreatment of queer people, harassment, lack of service.
And there's also been a march in San Francisco over the police response. 2 queer women have been arrested and imprisoned by the Taliban as they attempted to escape Afghanistan. Mariam Ravish, who's a lesbian, and Maeve Alcina Piescu, who's trans, were trying to catch a flight to Iran from Kabul airport. Mariam's partner did manage to leave. He can be executed for homosexuality in Afghanistan under Sharia law. An LGBTQ+ support organisation had been working with the women to try to get them out. And the fragile minds of kiddywinks are being warped, I tell you, by a gender-neutral cartoon raccoon that isn't even gender-neutral. That, of course, hasn't stopped right-wing news outlets falsely claiming parents are up in arms over a recent episode of Hey Dougie. Actually, there have been no complaints over a passing reference to Ren the raccoon and their siblings. That is all it took to trigger the usual knuckle-draggers and deplorables. Please God know and tell them about John and Nigel, the cartoon's camp, same-sex crab couple. No time to tell you that. As part of World Pride in Washington, D.C. from next month, there's going to be a special exhibition on the history of Pride there, and Dublin's annual Pride Run's taking place on June 13th. Hi there. Later, an Olympic runner comes out. First though, good work, homophobes. An attack on an LGBTQ+ business has led to the opening of a new gay bar. I'll drink to that. Cheers, queers. A pride flag outside "This shop is so gay" in York in England was ripped down recently with damage to the flagpole and the brickwork. So, how to respond? Well, the owners have converted their other business nearby into a gay bar, saying the more we're attacked for being gay, the bigger and gayer we become. And you know, even before Claire and Xander Platts opened "This shop is so gay," the local bigots were bigoting.
Do you know what it was? Can
Go
you
on.
guess?
Somebody saying, we haven't got a straight shop.
Nearly.
Why do you need a gay shop?
A couple walked past, a man said, we best not bring the bairns here. But the woman was like, why?
Oh,
So
well
well
done,
done
that
there.
woman.
They managed to set up the new gay bar in less than a week. Next, Belgium's going to let people remove their gender marker from identity cards. Comes off the back of a court ruling. The current lack of legal recognition for non-binary people is unconstitutional. The idea of an X gender marker was opposed by some politicians, so there'll be cards with male and female options and those without. And usually the only pasta I'm interested in is spaghetti. However, a pastor at a Christian church in Texas says there's nothing condemning transgender people in the Bible. Zach Lambert from Reform Austin has posted on socials, reckons there are no biblical grounds for being anti-trans. The 36-year-old runs an inclusive church that's a place for anyone to feel themselves. Not like that. No time to tell you, quite a few things actually. Yet another protest against a ban on pride events in Hungary's seen thousands more people on the streets. In Australia, there's a ban on conversion practices in the south of the country, while queer people will be protected by new anti-vilification laws in Victoria. An Olympic runner, Yared Nuguse, has publicly come out. The Team USA athlete celebrating a year with his boyfriend Julian. Hi there. Later, queer voters are big down under. First though, just guess why a transgender schoolteacher's been hounded out of her job. Rosie Sandry taught English at Red Oak High in Texas. She'd been out as a trans woman for 7 months with lots of support from her students and colleagues. And then, an anti-LGBTQ+ hate group called Libs of TikTok mobilised its thousands of bedwetters. A right-wing politician got involved. Indoctrination! And Rosie was forced to quit. The 33-year-old didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her students, but has this message for them.
You have inspired me. I am a better person because I knew you and had you in my classroom. You have given me faith in humanity. You have shown me that this next generation of kids that are coming up, they're gonna be okay. They're gonna fight.
Rosie resigned a few days ago on Transgender Day of Visibility. If you're unfamiliar with Libs of TikTok, just imagine the toilets at a music festival. Men in Greece in a same-sex relationship are going to be banned from having kids through surrogacy. It's something to do with clarifying what legally constitutes the inability to carry a pregnancy. To be completely honest, I don't fully understand the reasoning. Single, gay and straight men are also affected. And ahead of Australia's federal election in a few weeks, claims nearly 1 million voters are queer. This from a survey by Quality Australia, which also finds LGBTQ+ issues are the top concern, talking about the likes of banning conversion practices and protections against discrimination. 95% say this will have an impact on how they vote. Hi there. Later, a burst of pride for The Sims. First though, the Elton John AIDS Foundation's been blacklisted by Russia. It's accused of undermining traditional moral values because of its support for queer rights, the kind of LGBTQ+ propaganda that's outlawed there, and officially labelling the organisation undesirable means it's banned from operating in Russia. The foundation's raised more than $600 million since 1992 in the fight against AIDS and stigma.
When we look back, we've achieved a lot. We've helped so many people. I'm so proud of that. But that's not enough. We have far more people to help. The ambition is to get rid of this disease by 2030, and that's what we're driving ahead for.
More than 1.2 million people in Russia are living with HIV. Next, a clothing-optional gay campsite that bans transgender people reckons it's not anti-trans. Grizzly Pines in Texas is only for cisgender men, so their comfort and shared lived experience is preserved. No, me neither. They chose Trans Day of Visibility to reiterate this policy after it led to a booking being cancelled. Yelp reviews of Grizzly Pines include an exposed toilet next to my bed, there were roaches in my cabin, and don't eat their food, 3 of us had diarrhoea all weekend. And The Sims 4's got even more queer-friendly with its Burst of Pride update. Means the live simulation game now features a number of LGBTQ+ themed items, including tattoos, wall art, pride flags and denim shorts. It's long been inclusive, with transgender options like chest binders and top surgery scars added back in 2023. No time to tell you that. A ban on conversion practices comes into effect today in New South Wales and Australia. And the US city of La Crosse in Wisconsin's got its first black openly gay mayor. Shondell Washington's Spivey won just over half the vote. I'm Kev McGraw. See you next week.